It's just announcing they're going to send a team to Bamberg tomorrow to determine if a tornado hit the downtown area there this afternoon. The storm blew through just a few hours ago, as you can see, causing significant damage there. This is a live look at this hour. That is how we're going to begin here tonight's broadcast at 7 o'clock here on your Tuesday night. A little more than an hour ago, we were told by local leaders on the scene in Bamberg that no injuries or deaths were reported there, and that is certainly good news. But the damage is severe. News 19's Peyton Lewis now with more on the destruction there late this afternoon. Peyton, what can you tell us?
JR, we are still here in downtown Bamberg, where there are crews that are out going around with the mayor, setting up more lights to continue to assess the damage. They have obviously noticed a lot of things that have fallen here: bricks, windows, other structural elements. And if you notice, the buildings next door to that old City Hall building that collapsed, they're now leaning forward. Police asked us hours ago to move outside of the area at least 150 feet back to make sure if any of those other buildings attached fall, that we're not in the way. The damage can be even seen. This brick actually flew off of the building and was flung out into the road here, all the way to these road signs. The police told me I could pick this up. It was safe to use for my shot. But they said they want to make sure that people see this and they know that this area is still a danger. They want people to avoid the area if they can. Do not get close. Things are roped off. They're still out, like I said, looking at this damage as of right now. Representative Bamberg was out here about an hour ago. I asked him about what the governor is saying in terms of this damage and in terms of how they're going to help this community in the aftermath, but they have yet to hear from the governor's office from last time I spoke with Representative Bamberg. But we're still here, we're still covering everything, making sure that we have the details for you and that we continue to keep you updated on what is happening here in the Bamberg community and how they're healing here.
All right, Peyton, the good news there, of course, no injuries, no deaths reported. And just before we came on the air tonight, we spoke with Brian Hefner with Edisto Electric Cooperative. He was in Bamberg when the storm started today. He talked to us about his experience and what he saw as the storm moved closer.
A little after, 2 o'clock today, we noticed the wind picking up pretty hard here in our Bamberg office, and I happened to look outside and I noticed that this was not your normal wind, and I knew we were in a tornado. And as soon as it passed through, I walked outside and could tell there was some pretty good devastation across the road from our office. And unfortunately, I noticed one of the buildings adjacent to our office was completely destroyed. It appears that the damage, the roof is completely gone, the sides. It was a manufacturing plant here in Bamberg, and just everything was collapsed and torn off, and the debris field, spread across the road and into adjacent lots, and really it looks like the building is a total loss from what I could tell. And I'd like for our members to know that, if you see a downline, please stay away from it. Call it in, report it. Even though there are safety mechanisms in place to kill power when a line falls down, that's not always the case, and you can get into what we call a step fault current. If people get too close to a line that's on the ground, we don't want that to happen. It can, cause serious damage or even a fatality, and just stay away from any down power lines.
Again, that was Brian Hefner with Edisto Electric Cooperative just a short time ago. Now, tomorrow, many of you will start the cleanup process picking up the storm debris,